I think you gon' revelate. Oh man, you gon' revelate. Oh man, you gon' revelate. Oh man, you the same one since the never hate. Now you tryna leave, you tryna separate, you gon' revelate. Oh man, I think you gon' revelate. Why are you so deceitful? You're trying to trick up the people. You can't control your ways, but you complain all the day. Oh, you're doing things out convenient. I full of script I can tell. There's no knowledge within you. Oh, I think you're gonna renovate. Oh man, I think you're gonna renovate. Oh man, you gonna renovate. Oh man, you gonna renovate. Oh man, you the same one since I'm never hate. Now you tryna leave, you tryna separate, you gonna renovate. Oh man, I think you gonna renovate.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah. Before every enterprise we start counseling. The way you acting now, it's not like. See, I'd rather leave than to start fighting. Unequally yoked is what the words say. Railing for railing, that's not my foreplay. Stay together, do what the song say. Bonnie and Clyde with Clyde, now we in the hallways. We all make mistakes, but don't get excused to do it. We all in the race, and everyone's a winner. But staying with a reprobate mind will keep you off track. And you don't want to backslide.
Oh man, I think you gon' renovate. Oh man, you gon' renovate. Oh man, you gon' renovate. Oh man.
All right, shalom, Most High in Christ. We back.
Yeah, shalom.
I can do this thing over and breeze. We're gonna be here shortly. We ain't gonna be here long. We're not gonna drag this out. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
All right. You remember where we started at? What was your first question?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get back to it.
First question was in Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 23. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 23. And I was asking, what does that word audacious mean? For an audacious woman, when she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress.
Right. So okay. So this woman again is an extremely unpleasant woman, bitter woman, hateful woman, whatever the case may be. This scripture is talking about when she is supplanted by the mistress. All right. Go ahead. Right. What was and then so this here could be considered a treacherous wound depending on which angle it's coming from. Yeah. But the scripture basically is telling you about the unpleasant woman, how she was supplanted by the mistress.
Gotcha.
All right, what was the next one?
The next one was in Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 12.
Proverbs
chapter 29 and verse 12.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12. Let's get it.
And it says, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
So scripture says, if a ruler hearkens to lies, then all his servants are wicked. Why? Because, well, we do know the scriptures say that he that hearkens to lies is a liar.
Right.
Now, if you hearken to lies, you're going to follow lies. You're going to follow deceit. You're going to teach deceit. You're going to teach lies. Therefore, if you following the leader who's following the lies, what are you gonna do?
You're gonna follow the lies.
You're also gonna teach the same lies.
That's true.
You're gonna do that. So lies are things that are not of the truth, and things that are not of the truth are gonna bring forth wicked actions.
Right.
All right. So just like if the leader is wicked, you can guarantee the troops behind them are gonna be just as wicked. All right.
That's a dangerous situation to be in, to be a ruler who's a liar, to lead your people into lies. Gotta call that thing, man. He just been he been like the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the Sadducees. I was gonna call something else.
What you doing?
Nah. I was like, they won't go hand in hand. And so the ones who follow him will have respect the person too then.
Well, in this context, that's not what that's really going into. It's talking about the leader being one who hearkens to lies and deceit. So therefore, the people that's following after him by default do what? Follow after lies and deceit.
You teaching it to him.
Right.
That's what I was just trying to figure out. I was going to the third one, or you finna drop something?
Go to Sirach. Sirach 10.
Sirach chapter 10.
It's basically saying the same thing. Start 1.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Right. So a wise judge will instruct his people in his government, and the government of a prudent man, of a wise man, is well ordered. Verse 2.
As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Right. So as the judge is, so is the people in the city that dwell therein. Why? Because they follow the law and order under that judge.
Yeah.
So guess what? If the judge is wicked, then you best believe the people who enforcing his laws are wicked. It's just saying the same thing that is said over in where? Proverbs?
Yeah, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12.
Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lies,
just like if a judge is wicked,
all his servants are wicked.
If a judge is wicked, if a judge is wicked, then all his servants are going to be wicked. And his officers are wicked, and the people that live in the city are going to follow under those wicked laws. All right. Now let's go to your next question.
All right.
Next one.
Proverbs chapter 28 is my next question. It's Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 21. Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 21. To have respect of person is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress.
Right. Now, for respect of persons is not good. We know that. Why? Respect of persons is unjust judgments.
Right.
So judgment is just for one person to do something, but based off of who somebody else is or your admiration for another person, you don't judge the matter according to what the judgment is for that judgment.
Right.
All right. Read on.
For a piece of bread that man would transgress.
For a piece of bread that man will transgress. For a piece of bread, for some acknowledgement, for some authority, for some preeminence, for whatever, he will transgress. Meaning he will sin, he will kiss ass, he will cross people, he will do whatever just to get that recognition or that favor from that person that he has to respect of persons to. that second part of the verse is what goes hand in hand with the script I was looking for, which was Sirach 7:4. The second half of the scripture when it says that for a piece of bread he will transgress. It was saying, well, go ahead, get that Sirach 7:4.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 4. Sirach chapter 7 and verse 4. Seek not of the Lord, it says, seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor.
Right. Preeminence is the top bravado, the lead. Don't seek authority. Preeminence, like on the block. Niggas can't even do wrong together the right way. Because they can all be out there selling their drugs, they all getting money, and then one nigga gotta have preeminence. He gotta be the big dog on the block. He gotta be above. That's what preeminence is. It says, seek not preeminence from the Lord. And what else?
Neither of the king the seat of honor.
Neither of the king the seat of honor. That king is gonna be the one you're gonna have respect the person to.
Right.
You want that seat of honor. What does that mean? You're gonna do anything. If you want the seat of honor next to the king, guess what they're gonna do? Kiss that ass and get next to the king.
Right.
And he will lie, steal, cheat, rape, rob, whatever to get close to. Y'all know people like that. They want to be close to somebody so bad that they'll do anything to be next to him.
Right.
I'm like, man, bro, you ain't even have beef with that dude. What you hit him for?
Right.
Oh man, he messed with my dog, man. You don't even chill with him, dude. You just because you want to be affiliated.
Right. That's true.
That's exactly what. That's in a form is exactly what this is going into about how they try to seek from the king. Why brothers do anything to be right next to that dude?
Right. And we see examples of that in the truth.
Right.
It's true.
All right. That was it with you?
Yeah.
All right. So we had other questions that I don't know if they got reposted or not.
I know one was Genesis 9 and 13.
Do we know what the question was concerning it?
Let me go back. Oh. It said, it says Genesis 9 and 13. What does it mean when God says, I do set my bow in the cloud? Let's go. My bow in the cloud. Oh, that's about the covenant, the promise that he want to flood the earth again. Yeah, he wants to set the boat. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 13. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. Mm-hmm. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. All right. That the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh. All the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
All right. So when you say he put his bow in the sky, it's literally what it means. It's talking about the rainbow, which was the sign of the covenant to never flood the earth again, right, to destroy it in that fashion like that off a flood again.
Right.
All right. I saw another one a while back. It said Genesis 9. When Noah got drunk and naked in his tent, his son Ham saw his nakedness, and he told his brother. When Noah woke up, he cursed Canaan. Why? What if Ham seeing him naked was accidental? It wasn't accidental.
Right.
The reason why he cursed him is because what if it was accidental? What wouldn't he have done?
He wouldn't have went to go tell his brothers.
Yeah, he wouldn't have ran and mocked his father to his brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't an accident. The reason why he cursed him because he knew it wasn't an accident.
Right.
Why? Because Noah know his sons. Like the scriptures tell you, you should know your children.
Right.
Even a child is known by his ways.
Right.
Ham saw his father in nakedness and thought it was cute.
Right.
And then went to mocking his father about it. He laughing and telling his brothers about their dad being naked. Like nobody in here think that is funny that you looking at our dad naked.
What's funny about it?
So yes, he was cursed because of it. Yeah.
He had a homosexual spirit on him.
And he didn't curse him, he cursed his sons.
Right. Rest of his generation.
All right. Okay, I gotta go back.
This is Genesis 9 and 4 through 6. What is
No,
that?
start it. Just get the top ones. Oh, we did 13, right?
Yeah, we did that.
All right, what's this one?
9, 4 through 6. What exactly is this talking about eating humans? This ain't no zombie apocalypse, man.
Let's go. Let's get it.
All right. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 4. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
Mm-hmm.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
And that, what verse is that?
That was she said 4 and I think through 6. That was verse 5.
Okay, so now this is when orders is getting handed out, right? To Adam. No, right?
Yeah.
When it says he said you shouldn't eat but the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat.
Right.
That ain't talking about people.
Right.
That's talking about food, meat,
Right.
period. That's y'all who like to eat y'all medium rare steaks
Right.
and all that type of stuff. When the blood is still in it, the life is still in it. You are not allowed to eat like that. You can't eat like Esau, half cooked chicken and a chicken still bleeding and you still eating it. You
Right.
can't do that. Steak, burgers, all of that. Yeah,
Right.
that's what that's going into. It wasn't talking about because it said blood. We think, oh, he bit a person and start bleeding. No, that ain't what it's talking about. It's talking about you eating uncooked meats,
Right.
that animals and things that actually have blood inside of them. If it's still bleeding, you can't eat it because the blood represents it's still life in it.
Right.
That's what that was going into.
Right.
Matthew 23:15.
Matthew chapter 23 and verse 15. Matthew chapter 23 and verse 15. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofolds more the child of hell than yourselves.
It was going into the Proverbs. If you're ruler.
Oh yeah. That does go.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
you
Yeah.
can't mesh it. 23 and 15. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. You can pass sea and land, proselyte.
Mhm.
When he is made, you make him twofold child of hell. Now
Right.
understand this. It can go back to what you can add that to go with what we were talking about in Proverbs.
29,
About the
12.
the ruler then hearkening to lies.
Yeah.
You can. It does make sense to go in when you want, if you want to use it. The scriptures going into the Pharisees we know that the Pharisees, they was wicked. They was teaching people. They was going all across seas, going to certain schools today.
Mm.
Go all across land and seas. They in every country, every land, every state. And guess what? They may be teaching truth,
Right.
but the actions is in hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And the way they deal with people, they kill the souls and spirits of men. And from their wicked ass examples, when people finally get fed up or get broken, or they get trained up in that example,
Yeah.
they actually be worse than the people that trained them. And that's what this verse is going into. Some people, they was in camps where the people were overbearing, and now that nigga is extremely overbearing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got somewhere, they went to school and they just practice hypocrisy. And now when he leaves, he just practices hypocrisy. I've seen people that leave schools and they try so hard to not be like the school that they left that they actually worse.
Yeah, just like way worse.
We were a part of one of them.
Yeah,
Still, remember?
way worse.
And they're trying so hard not to be like the school they had just left that they were even worse than the school they left.
Right. Way worse. Gotta shake that spirit right there off.
All right.
Mine from that. Who was legendary blue game? Someone can't go on.
I don't know.
That other person ain't got the right spirit on.
Con, thank you. Another question. Sister wants to know. Her father is basically she wants to. Her and her brother are betrothed. Her family them don't agree with it. Her father, who happens to actually be in the truth, does not agree with it and does not want to allow her to marry this dude. But she feels that if it's up to her father, she would never get married. No dude is ever going to be good enough. And basically, she want to know, does he have the authority to call off her marriage and why? And it's a long statement. And does he have the authority to call off her marriage? And why does he have to choose who she can get married to when it's her who's going to spend the rest of her life? So why should basically what he thinks matter? All right. So I'll explain. Does he have the authority to overrule your engagement or whatever the case may be? Now, in most cases, when we grow up, our parents are not in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, they get marked out of a lot of things.
Right.
But he's in the truth.
Yeah. That's what got heavy.
And apparently, what you do got to understand is in the Bible times, parents were a very, 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 very big part of that whole thing, the whole process. All right. So now I'm going to show you something. Let's go to Numbers chapter 30. Numbers chapter 30, start at verse 1. We'll see, does your father have the right to tell you who you can and can't marry? Does he have the right to end your so-called betrothalship?
30:1.
The day that he hears it. Yeah.
Numbers chapter 30 and verse 1. Numbers chapter 30 and verse 1. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. You read?
Mm-hmm.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceed out of his mouth. Right?
Jump down to the woman.
Okay, here's the next one.
Good.
Or it's 3 and 4. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house.
Right. Now she done bow to the Lord. Now this is a woman, a girl praying to the Most High.
Right.
She done made a promise and an oath with the Most High and bound her soul.
Being in her father's house.
Just like being betrothed. That's an oath between you, that person, and the Most High.
Right.
Let's say your father heard you bow the oath. You done engaged to some dude. What happens?
Being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bound wherewith she had bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. Then all her vows shall stand, and every bound wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand.
Why?
And the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed it.
Right. So guess what? You bound your soul to a man, and your father hears about it and he disapproves of it. Guess what? That bound don't stand. Your father got the right to denounce your prayers. Your father got the right to, if you fast, and your father can come in there and say, this fast over. You ain't fasting, get your ass in there and do such and such. You got to do it. It's over. That's how much power the Most High gave him. Yes, right. It is his job. And I'm gonna tell you something. You think you decide is your ain't for you to do. That's his responsibility. Right. It ain't for you to decide you gonna marry. No, that's his responsibility. I know that sounds crazy. It's his responsibility to make sure you get married. I know that sounds crazy. But it's true. Let's get the scripture. Sirach 7:25. Let's see who responsibility is of the daughters getting married.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 25. Sirach chapter 7 and verse 25. Marry, okay, yeah, it says, marry thy daughter.
It said do what?
Marry thy daughter.
It's telling you, marry your daughter. Go ahead.
And so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
A weighty matter.
A weighty matter.
So when you marry your daughter, that is a very, very big matter. It's a very big responsibility. Scriptures tell you, nigga, marry your daughter.
Whoa.
Perform this weighty matter. Go ahead.
But give her to a man of understanding.
But give her to a man of understanding. So where in the scripture does it say that you decide what you're going to do and you give yourself away? No. The scriptures say to you fathers, marry your daughters, perform this weighty matter. And when you're doing it, why is it a weighty? It said perform this weighty matter. Why? Because it's a very, very big responsibility. His job is to make sure that he gives you to a man of understanding. Why? Because if he leave it to you, your dumb ass will be talking about the man was fine, he was tall,
right?
He was this,
right? All the extra stuff nobody don't want to hear. Yeah.
So his job is to do what? Make sure you get yourself. Make sure he gives you to a man of understanding. That is a father's job. That is a weighty matter. That's one of the biggest matters you will deal with in life as a father. Is giving your daughter off to a man of understanding. Damn. That is your job to marry her. It's not her decision. So yes.
That's a game over for you.
I know that. I know someone right now, like, I don't like this. Whatever.
Right.
It is what it is.
It ain't for you to like or not to like, it's for you to do or get the judgment behind it.
Go to them. Go to let me see. No, I'm just looking for a question.
Okay.
It said can you explain? This is good not to touch. Go to first quorum. Better to not to. It's better to. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 25.
25. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 25. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 25. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord. Yet I have given my judgment as one that have obtained mercy of the Lord to be faithful. You ready? Mm-hmm. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose.
Right. If you married to a woman, don't seek to be loose. Go ahead.
Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife.
And if you're not, even if you're not tied into a woman, don't seek to be tied into her. In other words, he's saying what he said earlier. It's good not to touch a woman, but every man can receive it.
Right.
Let's just read on.
But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned.
Now, if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. Read on.
And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. But I spare you.
I mean, I spare you. I'm warning you. So he says, I'm warning you. So now, when it goes here, when it says if a A virgin has married, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall trouble in the flesh. If a virgin or a man marries, it is not sin. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The problem comes in is that that's the only thing you seem to care about
The matter.
is the person that you married to. You know what I'm saying? When you get married, then all of a sudden all the zeal, all the strive, everything you had going towards the Most High, it dwindles. It just goes out the window. And in most cases, what happens with most people? They get in relationships, and let's talk about the world for a second. And let's talk about people in the truth. Let's talk about them. They be up in this building, come in, single, ain't got no lover, focus fully on the Most High. The moment they take their eye off the Most High, start looking into the attention I'm getting over here, or I want to be a relationship and this, or they finally do get a relationship where they do haul ass.
Right. A lot.
Leave right on out the door.
But them such and such, he got with such and such, and they left. They up and left.
Boy, I got a cut. Boy, I got a cut for them. I got a scripture so bad for that. I got a scripture so bad. I'm gonna hold it too. I'm gonna hold it.
That's a headshot.
You gonna post.
I'm gonna bring it out later. All right.
Headshot.
But trust. The scripture say, "Woe to you who make men, who put your trust in man and make man your strength,
Right.
or your flesh." 80% of the women today, they'll come in and they'll leave behind a man.
Right.
They either come in behind a man, leave behind a man.
100% true.
Mm,
We seen that firsthand with me.
and women, you care more about your man. Shoot, telling you, man, you in this is a different type of breakdown and understanding when you look at that type of woman or man. But that woman who loved them, who care more about the man than their salvation, their children, they whatever. The only thing they see is that goddamn man.
That's crazy.
All right.
That's crazy, man. That's a wicked ass spirit too. Your main focus should be on the Most High God. How can you serve and please Him? Everything else will work out. But that got to be your main focus. That's why He said, "Keep me as the apple of your eye." His laws, keep His laws as the apple of His eye, of your eye. Then you shall prosper, and everything shall fall into place.
Right.
Can't do nothing without the Most High first.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and retreat. We're gonna get up out of here. We'll see y'all in the class later. Shalom.
Shalom.